Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Oldham County Fiscal Court. I'm David Vogel, Judge Executive. We're happy to have you here today on the 20th of August for our normally scheduled meeting. If you're able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please turn any cell phones to off or vibrate. Holly, will you please call the roll?
Magistrate Likens.
Here.
Magistrate Tice.
Here.
Magistrate Woosley.
Here.
Magistrate Jeffries.
Here.
Magistrate Hounds.
Here.
Magistrate Hawkins. Here. Magistrate Dye.
Present.
Magistrate Logsden. Here. And Judge Vogel.
Here. Having all members of the fiscal court present, this meeting is now in session. Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved, Judge. I'd like to add a conversation about we'll call it the fiscal court security position. You want to
Second.
throw that somewhere?
I guess we'll put that under, how about we put it under item I, under personnel actions.
Under item I? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I believe that we will ask to eliminate the closed session. I don't think we have, I don't think we're ready to go forward that today. So we'll eliminate the closed session.
Good.
All right, hearing any other questions, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Now, we'll ask for a motion to approve our minutes from the last meeting.
Second.
All right, are there any corrections?
Michael,
Judge.
just microphone, I can't hear you.
We took a break under, where was it? Under community business. That was when our county attorney needed to check on something. Should that be notated in the minutes? I believe it is. Okay. It says there no further public comment. Public hearing was closed. Further discussion from magistrates. Motion made by Magistrate Tyson, seconded by Magistrate Likens to end discussion over previous motions made after a roll call vote. Motion to...
Says recess called at 4 p.m. by Judge Vogel to allow Barry Baxter to review Robert's Rules Book.
Okay. You can see it's, I don't know what's wrong with my computer because it's not showing. I just refreshed my link too, so,
Page 44.
okay. It's just presenting a little bit different on my laptop. Thank you, that was all.
All right, I believe it's in there. It sounds like it is. I don't have a copy, so I
Okay.
don't know for sure. It is in there, okay. All right, and let's see, that's the approval of our minutes, and we're also, we've had some personnel actions here that we're asking to be added that were inadvertently omitted from the prior, from the July, which one? July 16th meeting, and we want to ask that those be approved as well.
Make a motion, we amend the minutes from July 16th to include those personnel actions.
Second.
So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And then approval to move the July 16th meeting, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries, thank you. Time now for public comment. It's the time during our meeting when anyone who would like to address the fiscal court about something that's not a scheduled item on the agenda is able to do so. Is there anyone here who would like to address the court at this point? Seeing no one, I'll close public comment and we'll move on to the first item on our agenda today. Is the North Oldham Fire Department here? All right, yes, I believe you are. Come forward. And Chief, and happy to have you here today. Jim Shane.
Hello, my name is Jim Sohan. I'm the new chief at North Oldham.
Sorry, I mispronounced you. I
yet.
can't read here. Okay.
That's okay. It's Irish.
Okay.
So, and I'll make this brief because I know your time's valuable. I think I'm just supposed to kind of update you guys on the department operations and our budget. So, if you have anything that, I don't know if Holly sent you basically what I had sent her, but our department operates 2 staffed stations 24 hours a day with 3 firefighters in each station. We employ about 50 part-time people, including 3 full-time command staff and an administrative assistant. Our average response time is 2 minutes from the time dispatch alerts us to a call to us having people out the door on the fire engines. And we have an average of 5 minutes from the time of dispatch to having an engine on the scene. We make every medical run that is dispatched in the North Oldham district. So if Grandma stubs her toe, she gets an ambulance and a fire truck, because sometimes the ambulances are busy. So instead of, and I don't know if you've talked to Mr. Glass about this, it's easy for them to just go ahead and dispatch the fire department on everything, because we keep EMTs and paramedics on our trucks. So the people in the North Oldham district get medical response quickly. Last year we had about 650 runs. That's medical and fire runs. This year we're on par to surpass that. So we'll make more runs this year than last year. Our district, which is Goshen, Prospect, Skylight, it's a mix of residential and light commercial. We have approximately 4,800 residences, 247 farms, and 50 commercial buildings. On our finances, we currently have a $3.5 million bond that's going to pay for our new Skylight station. I don't know if you've been up 42 lately and have seen them building the new station there, but that's going to replace a pole barn that was built in 1984 that structural engineers say is not really sound anymore. We have on our budget this year, because of the bond issue, it's a little bit different. We've got about $2.1 million coming in, and we've got about $2.1 million going back out. So we're going to be pretty close to breaking even this year, as opposed to having a savings. However, we're going to keep our tax rate at that 9.5 cents right now, instead of upping that to the 10 cents on the $100. The department has an A1 rating from Moody's, which most of you probably know is a nationally known company for evaluating the financial health of companies. We hope to have our new station opened by November, and then we'll have fire response coming out of that new station for about a month, maybe like October the 15th to November the 15th approximately. We're going to have to move those firefighters out of the Skylight station and into the Goshen station, because they're going to have to demolish that building out front. And in order to do that, they're going to need people out of the buildings completely. So we'll have all of our firefighters running out of Goshen, but we'll still be making responses all up and down US 42. Any questions?
Measure Hawkins.
Do you use volunteer firefighters at all?
We do not.
Okay, thanks.
So all of your people are paid then, and
Yes, sir.
I see that down here, Jim, you said you're going to need, in about 6 years, you're going to need some, replace some equipment.
Yes.
Do you're going to have to, if you're breaking even now, do you think that you're going to have to borrow money to do that, or will
No,
you
I think-
raise?
I think maybe next year we would look at raising that 0.5 cent, which would bring in additional money. And I don't know if Mr. Hounds could, enlighten you any further, but right now fire trucks cost about $1 million
Right.
just for your basic fire pumper. So companies like Seagrave require half of that money up front in order to lock you into that price. So we would have to come up with $500,000. In our capital budget right now, we have about $400,000 in savings. So if we can find savings in other places and put that money into the capital budget, then 2 or 3 years from now, we'll be able to build a fire truck. Because our fire fleet is aging. Our frontline pumpers right now are 14 years, 14 years old. So they're generally good for about 20 years, and then they either need to be refurbished or replaced. So I think if we look at some of the things that we're doing, some of our practices, we'd be able to save a little money here and there, move that to the capital budget, and then eventually have that money to pay for a fire truck. And right now, fire trucks are about a 4-year build. So if I ordered one today, what is this, August the 20th of 2024, we would be getting that August the 20th of 2028.
It takes a while to get it, all right.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Magistrate Jeffries.
Just one question on, and Magistrate Woosley pointed this out, but I think that's Moody's, not Modi. I think you had, as the credit rating agency, I think it's Moody's.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so-
I just, the previous chief told me that, and so I wrote that in there, and then I kind of looked them up online to see what they did because I wasn't really sure. So that's where that came from.
Yeah, okay.
Magistrate Likens.
Jim, how do you spell your last name? I want to get it right.
It's S as in Sam, O, H, A, N as in Nancy.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Magistrate Woosley.
Chief, actually, all of the other fire departments come together to do mutual training except for North Oldham. Is that something that you're planning on re-looking at as, now that you're chief? You're going to bring your
Yes.
training in with the other guys so that we're all trained the same way?
So just a little background. Previously, before I was the chief, I was the training major for the department. And every month, I go to the Oldham County Fire Instructors Association meeting. And maybe 3 years ago or so, we started attending that Monday night training. And then they got kind of, we're going to cancel training this night. We're not going to do it this day. So we volunteered to assist in live burns because we have live burn instructors. And yes, I would like for us to train with other departments on a regular basis. I just don't know in the immediate future if it will happen. But we still are involved with the other county departments and attend the meetings.
And just so I hear you right, you're looking at probably moving your tax rate from 9.5 to 10 next year.
Maybe next year. It depends on the health of our budget. If we're going to break even this year, as a matter of fact, I brought a copy of the budget with me because we had to update it based on bond payments and things. If we spend what we're budgeted to spend this year, we'll wind up with $1,732 left over at the end of the year. That's why I'm hoping that we can save on different things and spend our money a little bit more wisely. Our snow removal contract, $2,000 to do 2 stations every time it snows, whether we have a ½ inch or 6 inches of snow. If we put a snowplow on one of our F-250s for $4,000, that's 2 snows, and that lasts us the next 10 years. So we can plow our own snow. So just things like that in the budget that we can look to save, I want to try and do.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, I'd like to ask you about your river response. North Oldham, I know, has been involved in. Do you have what kind of boat, or do you have something that you get out on the river with?
We do. We have a Zodiac rescue boat. It's about maybe 3 years old now, and as late as 2 nights ago, we got a river response with Westport, where a Hispanic family there was a language barrier between them and Oldham County Dispatch, but they had lost power on the river, called for assistance, and we ended up going out on that. So we'll make maybe 7 to 10 river responses every season. Mm-hmm. Not each season, but every summer season when the boats are out on the river.
Okay. Where do you keep the boat?
It's at our Station 1 in Goshen.
Okay, so you have to take it down there and launch it. It's not kept
Yes.
down there. And, all right. Anyone else have anything for the chief? Okay, thank you for coming today. Appreciate your report. Okay,
right.
thank
You'll have a
you.
good day.
Good luck. Thank you. We'll move on now with our next report from a public agency is from the Oldham County Public Library. And librarian Julie Wilson is here today to help us go through her report.
It's okay. I don't have to use it. I just brought y'all some fun pictures.
Our planning and zoning administrator is
Oh,
aware
Director.
of this equipment. He could probably.
you're the new guy.
Jay must have been sleeping.
Thank you.
Being evaluated
I'm
on
Julie
this,
Wilson.
Ryan.
I'm the library director of all 3 of our locations. Did you all get the information that I sent? Thank you. Okay. I just thought it would be fun to bring some pictures since
Right.
we've been busy this year. As you all know, we've been working on a building. That's kept me really busy this year. So I just thought I would love to show any of you guys around. If you want to send me an email, I'll be happy to give a tour before it's done, and you guys could get a sneak peek. So feel free to reach out to me anytime. But these are just some pictures of the new Goshen building. This is the inside, so not very many people have seen this. Oh, there's me and the architects. They've been great. Still muddy at this point, but you can see it's getting really beautiful. This is the clerk's office, so Amy's team will be occupying that spot, and that's going to be really great. I've got a beautiful little office there. This is the front. Pleasant surprise. We realized it'd be a great place to take selfies for the kids at prom, because you can see the North Oldham in the back. Yeah. This is an early on picture. But the architects have done a great job with the design. This is a view from Harmony Point subdivision across the street. Oh, and these are just some fun pictures. I'll flip through them quick, but just wanted to kind of review, what we've been working on. We've been working on Makerspace this year and adding that on as, with Lego robotics, things like that. Adults learning cricket and having a sewing club, just some different things, that are all free for Oldham County citizens. Lego programs. This is a special little group. We've got a teen volunteer group at Goshen. The kids are always looking for beta hours, so we decided to start a group called Volunteens this past year, and that's been really successful. Oh, Bluey. I don't know if you all know about Bluey, but apparently is like the biggest thing for the preschools. So we had a visit from Bluey. Also, second year of our Pumpkin Palooza, we doubled in size. We think about 1,200 people came to that. We had a line all the way down to Commerce Parkway for this trunk and treat event. Again, free, as opposed to some other trunk and treats out there. Just bringing some cuteness for you guys, as opposed to finance numbers. The thing we love about that event is volunteers come and do that just because they want to. We've got families that live out in the country that don't get any Halloween visitors anymore, and so they can do a trunk at the library. A magician we had. We've got teen programs going at all 3 locations. These are just some of our teens. I been working with the health department a lot this year on their Mental Health Coalition, Healthy Oldham County. One of the things in the survey was people really wanting more things for teens, safe spaces for teens, so we've been really trying to do that. And adults need to have some fun too. Oh, a little partnership that we just really love is this is a free program. The LaGrange Fire Department comes and just sprays the kids down, and it's really fun and just a cool collaboration. This is just an author visit that we just had actually yesterday. And this is another partnership with Kentucky Humanities. Oh, Oldham County Day. We won first place for our float. So we went with the theme, Judge. Another century in the books. So made the front page of the paper too with our clever little quip. These are some pictures of the Crestwood renovation. I know some of you guys came to that ribbon cutting. That was back in January, but that was a lot of fun. So that space has been really great. See, there's Kevin in the background of that picture. Just some people enjoying the space. Oh, we also had our first ever science fair. This was really great for homeschool students, kids that go to private school, or just schools that don't have science fairs anymore. We were really pleased with the response, and that was great. We had local scientists that came, and they were our judges. They did a great job. We also had some community organizations, like this is a beekeeping organization that came and promoted what they do that day. Oh, we also have a great collaboration with Maples Park. We do what's called Open Play Cafe once a month there. Mayor Kramer and the people that run the park have just been really great in partnering with us. So we usually get between 100 and 150 people coming to that. I think even in the summer, we had a couple hundred people at that open play cafe. Just happy faces, thought you all. Oh, we also had our second spelling bee. Really good spellers we have in Oldham County. They were super competitive, so. And we have a new Scrabble club too, for any of you guys who love Scrabble. So also unbelievably smart people in Oldham County scoring like 350 points on a Scrabble game. So I was blown away. So that's just kind of the fun side of us before I get into the money. We just approved, our board just approved our tax rate for this year. They took the compensating rate again. Your library board really tries to be conservative and plan well for all the expenses. Luckily, with the growth in Oldham County, even with the lower rate, so we're down to 3.9 cents. It's gone down the last couple of years, I think just because of growth, which is a good thing. So we'll still increase our operating revenue, but the actual compensating rate is going down. So just a few highlights. We did take in more revenue than expected last year, which was great. I need to put my glasses on or I won't see them. We were also able to earn some capital gains with the bond money that we had for the Goshen project. The board wanted to make sure and make some money while we had that money. So we work with Stockyards Bank, and they've done a great job helping us invest that. And you can see between interest and capital gains, we made about $575,000 off of that money. So that's been a help. We were under budget last year by about $148,000. Like I said, we try to budget conservatively on our income and keep expenses down so that we can work on these big projects that we've got going on. So I gave you guys a snapshot of the budget. Does anybody have any questions about the budget numbers? I put it in the PDFs that I sent, but also gave you a copy today. That's the budget that's on the website. We're still finishing up the project, obviously, so we've got some capital expenses that we're finishing up this next fiscal year as well. A few other just highlights. We offered, our children's librarians offered 541 programs for kids that were attended by over 30,000 people. Overall, we had 958 programs for Oldham County residents with almost 38,000 people attending those, which was a 28.4% increase over last year. As I mentioned, we're really trying to align our mission and our goals with the other agencies in Oldham County. I know the health departments, they've worked on this community health survey. As I mentioned, spaces and events for teens was one of the things that kept coming up. So we're in the process of hiring additional teen programmers. We all know how important that is, and mental health being an issue, that we want to provide positive, safe spaces for our teens and our kids and our community. We had 167,000 visits made to the libraries last year, which was a slight increase even with Crestwood closed last year for 3 months. We also circulated over 500,000 items, which was a 10.8% increase over last year. 154,000 of those were digital. I will say adults are the big users of that digital material. Kids still want to check out a book and flip through it. So what we've been trying to do is adapt to make our children's spaces larger and also increase the size of our children's collections while spending a good deal more money on electronic resources for adults. So we kind of just did a fun calculation, and if each item checked out has a $20 value, that's $10 million worth of materials that Oldham County residents checked out from the library last year. So I want to thank you guys always for your support. We really appreciate it. We will have some board nominations coming your way, but I'm still waiting on KDLA for those, for the judge to look at those. Do you guys have any questions?
Magistrate Dye.
Thank you for coming. Looks like your building is coming along very nicely. you threw some numbers out there rather quickly, and I
Sorry.
caught one. 958 programs.
Yes.
Now, I'm assuming, I don't know what your definition of a program is, and whatever it is, it's okay. But 958 programs, that would be like, if you were running these programs, that's every day you open up, you've got at least two and a half programs that you're working on of some type somewhere.
Yes.
But what I didn't see in the pictures, is what kind of specific programs, and just give me the one top two, do you do with the seniors?
Right.
Like do you bring books to the seniors, or,
I will say-
whatever you do or don't do?
Sure. Our seniors kind of hide from our cameras a little bit more than our kids do.
I
So
understand that.
we try to get them. Like I got the Scrabble. That's been a new one that we've added on at Crestwood location. That's been popular. That's during the morning. So that's definitely a lot of seniors go to that. They really enjoy the craft programs. We also have 4 or 5 book clubs that meet. We have a lot of retired people who enjoy those. We're actually really proud of our service to our seniors. We've increased it over the years, and they just really find that it's a home away from home. The people that come regularly and they make friends. We've had several widows that have said to us, it's been such a great place for them to connect with other friends after their spouse is gone. Even people that have relocated to this area to live near their kids, didn't know a soul, but have found friends at the library. So we love that.
Do you have a home delivery on the books and stuff like that?
We don't, but we would like to add that, yes. Yes, we would.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any management hounds?
If you said it, I missed it. When do you anticipate the new library opening?
I forgot to say that, thank you. I'm hoping mid-November. So, yeah, we're moving in furniture middle of October, so they're telling me that'll take about 3 or 4 weeks, but, I'm not going to count any chickens until they tell me for sure.
And I will say the ebooks, my family seems to use the ebook service. And when there was a problem, my wife was facing, I can't get my library card renewed. I said, all you got to do is go up there. And I said, or just let me know and I'll call Julie and she'll take care of it. But it is a smooth process. And,
Yes.
and I do think that is a huge benefit for the community, because not everybody can afford to do the Audible books and the other services that are out there. And yours being free off for all intents and purposes is great.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you're not the only one. People will reach out to me directly if they know me and ask me to renew their library card via email. So y'all can all do that.
Julie, is Oldham County Library services available to our community people outside the community here? And
Actually, we
Henry
do.
Trimble, do they have cards as well to check out things?
Yes, actually, we do have reciprocal agreements with Henry, Carroll, Trimble, and Shelby.
Okay.
So, and we do have quite a few of those patrons that use the library too.
What do you mean here by tech help? 27.
So we have people that will come in, with a new device that need help using it. We have people that just can't seem to figure out how to use their phones. Printing, a lot of help with printing. But yeah, we do a lot of that. Getting people, going on ebooks for sure.
Well, I wish, I'd like to suggest somewhere, we've just completed our countywide agreement with AT&T. Everyone in the county has a high-speed service available. They don't all have to sign up with AT&T if they can choose something else if they want it. But I think the question is, now that this service is available, and there are other people who don't know how to actually get on it, use it, how to operate programs. We help each other. When you work every day, other people you work with will help you. Somebody knows this, somebody knows that.
Right.
But if you're a retired person at home, or even just at home for whatever reason, you may not be able to keep up with the pace. So I wish there were classes, regular classes in the community that people could go to, and I think the library would be a great place to learn how to
Yes.
access, do search engines. How do I operate,
Yes.
different spreadsheets, things like that.
Yes. We have found that as opposed to classes, what people really want is help when they want it. when they come in the door. They want somebody to be available to help them. You know, everybody has a different schedule. A lot of times people need that one-on-one help. So what we've done is offered this tech help so they can make an appointment, and so that the instruction can be tailor-made to them. That seems to work best. The traditional computer class, those aren't as well attended. We have definitely done that over the years, but yeah, we find people want help, you know, when they walk in the door. So.
Yeah, we're all impatient, and, you know, me now. You know,
they're very grateful. They're very grateful and very nice. But yeah, you know, when someone's in a stressful situation, when they're trying to get something to work, that's when they want to walk into the library and find someone who's going to help them.
Something. Magistrate Jeffries.
Just a quick question. The new library, as far as square feet, how many books, you know, as far as it you'll be able to have there at that particular new location?
That's a really good question. I'm not sure what the number of volumes is going to be. The square footage is 17,000, with 1,000 of it being dedicated to the clerk's office. The movement in libraries is definitely towards smaller collections because about 30 to 35% of our circulation is now electronic. And as I said, the physical collection is definitely moving more toward children. Not that adults don't still like to hold a book. They do. Still 65% of them do. But we're definitely adapting to that change. But yes, there will be more room for books in this new building. Obviously, it's a lot larger. We're in 3,000 square feet right now. So we've got a lot of books stuffed into that little space. But
Magistrate Hawkins.
Hi, Julie. Regarding the ebooks, I noticed that sometimes there's a wait, like 2 weeks or 4 weeks. So if it's electronic, why the wait? Could you walk me through that?
Yes. So lots of people have that very same question. Okay. Ebooks are actually extremely expensive. The same book that might cost us $17 for a paper copy will cost us $80 for an electronic copy. So the publishers, in order to get their profits still, they don't allow unlimited use of that copy to libraries. So that's something that we work on all the time, is to get more fair pricing. They charge us more than when you buy an ebook on Amazon.
Okay, so if you want to have 2 copies available, you have to pay that $80 twice?
Yes,
or whatever.
Correct.
Okay.
And the other thing they do, just for information, is they'll also only give us like 24 uses. And once those uses are up, we don't have access to it anymore. So it's very, very expensive.
Is it monopolized or? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So we do have some libraries that are working on some legislation to try to get better pricing for libraries. So just so that people have access, because it is extremely popular. And I think, you know, Amazon obviously is a factor there in terms of pricing, and Audible is very popular, which has just made it more popular for libraries.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
So that's a good question.
So you can't download a book like you can download a music album or a movie without paying for it?
Well, I mean, you could, but that wouldn't be legal. We try to make sure and follow all the copyright restrictions.
Okay, anyway, I'll just ask you a superfluous question. What hours do you anticipate the Goshen Library?
Sure, we're going to stick with the same hours for now, just to kind of get our feet wet and opening the new building. So we're 10 to 7 Monday through Thursday, and Friday and Saturday 10 to 5. But the board is investigating new hours once we kind of, just like I said, get it open and get comfortable in the space. So.
And how large is your meeting space there?
Oh, good question. It's a little bit smaller than LaGrange meeting room, but it should hold about 100 people. But this new library has a lot more spaces. It has a gathering space with like a couch and a fireplace. It has a conference room where you can meet with 8 to 10 people. It has multiple study rooms. So a lot more rooms than LaGrange Library has, believe it or not, even though LaGrange is a lot bigger. A kitchen, demonstration kitchen. You know, it's good timing too, with North Oldham Fire Department being here. We've already had calls, Goshen City Council, some different groups that want to meet in the Goshen Library, because some of the other spaces, there's not a lot of space in Goshen currently, but even some of the spaces that there are not going to be available in just a couple months' time. So I think it's really good timing and really good planning on the library board's part to have a lot of meeting spaces in this building. So
good. Well, Fiscal, we appreciate working with the library board to establish the county clerk's office there.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
It's going to be a good new location, and really, I think from the very beginning, we've talked about the more uses, the more traffic, the more people are going to be in the library. It'll just be positive for everyone involved.
Agree, totally, yes.
So, all right, Julie, thank you very much for being here today.
Of course,
Okay.
thank you, guys.
You have anything to add to the clerk's report there, Amy, about the library? Okay.
I have been able to go visit that, and it is a absolutely beautiful facility. When I was talking about the kitchen, they have like you would see on like Cooking Network. So when the chef is cooking and teaching you how to cook, it's on screen. So there's cameras above you, so you can watch that. Probably one of the other neat things is that they have a what's the one room where you can go and do a podcast. You know, so a lot of kids, they have one like studio that is just for podcasts, and they, like she said, the study rooms. So a lot of kids that are studying for the ACT or SAT, you can reserve that, and it is just a quiet room. I mean, you can't hear anything from the outside. So I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful facility, and we probably will not move in until after the November election, if I still have my sanity after that. But we will move in probably towards the end of November, early December. So we'll be able to start the new year there. So, thank you.
All right, great, thank you. Appreciate you being here. Okay. Next item on our agenda here, it has to do with county administration. So when you're ready, we'll pay the bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Judge, we'd like to pay all of them except for one. We're still looking for some research, unless the treasurer, is he in the? Pat, did you ever find about the indigent care we were talking about in the finance committee? No, not yet. Okay. What page was that on, Magistrate Jeffries?
7 of 14.
Second one on.
7 of 14?
About middle of the page.
Let's see, what's it referred to?
Let's see, wait a minute. It's right, Kentucky State Treasurer, and it's, let's see, fiscal year 25 census, fiscal court, $8,450.88. It's about halfway down the page on page 7 of 14.
Yeah, that probably should have been.
Judge, we feel like that's something we probably pay regularly. We just, the person we probably need to ask the question of is Stan, and his cell phone's frozen.
Okay.
Those are psychologicals for either police or dispatch, aren't they?
Well, it said indigent.
No,
I
indigent.
think it's probably just coded in the wrong department, but that's who we use for psychologicals.
This
Well-
doesn't say indigent on mine.
That was one reason we just decided, to hold off for this and, bringing it back up the first part of September.
Okay.
All right, somebody want to make a motion that we pay the bills with the exception of this bill, which we will put on hold until our next meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Is there any other discussion about these bills? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next item has to do with our litter abatement grant application. Becky Zockline.
Thank you, Judge, and members of the Fiscal Court. Today, I'm asking you to give Judge Vogel permission to sign this grant application, which helps us keep our roads and highways and byways clean, litter-free, with the exception of Interstate 71. I think you could tell that you're in Oldham County when you cross over from another county. There's a difference in our roadsides, and I'm pretty proud of our volunteers and that they do an excellent job. And the grant amount is for approximately $83,000, and we spend every penny of it making sure that our roadways are clean.
Judge, I move that we allow you to sign this grant application.
Second.
All right. Any other questions about it? Help besides keeping roads clean, this funding helps a lot of groups in our community that are looking for ways to raise money. So.
Yes, and by using youth volunteers primarily, we're growing generations of litter-free, of non-litterers. So.
Right. People that may not litter if they have to pick it up, or know what it's like to pick it up. All right. Got a motion and second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion
Judge,
carries.
One
Pardon?
abstention.
What's pardon?
I'm abstaining for that vote. We're the South Oldham Rotary, and we go and pick up trash. I don't think I should be voting on something we benefit from. So,
All right.
great program, though. Thank you.
Yes. Good work.
Motion passes 8 in favor, 1 abstention. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the Arkansas State University Clinical Affiliation Agreement. Zach Wilt.
Thank you, Judge and Magistrates. I'm looking for permission for the judge to sign a contract with the Arkansas State University to get an intern for the emergency management. She'll work at no cost, and she has to fulfill 240 hours of clinical hours to fulfill her degree requirements.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this?
Judge, this was brought up in the Public Safety Committee meeting and in Finance.
Okay, and the only question I would have is that what is the, I'm not opposed to this, but what's the supporting program that we have that supports, diagnostic imaging and radiation therapy and all that in relation to emergency services?
She's getting her degree in emergency management and disasters. The Arkansas, I think it's more of a generic contract to sent with, because it's a clinical for nursing as well. But her degree specifically is emergency management. She needs a field of work relative to that. That's why she reached out to me. She works in Oldham County as a paramedic. And I've known her for a few years now.
Okay.
But it's emergency management specific. It's nothing to do with nursing. It's a little misleading, but yes.
Okay. All right, sure. Are there any further questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Now, we have the award engineering pickup truck bid. Somebody have that? Or we're going to award, I guess, a bid or open them for,
At the last meeting, bids were opened for the engineering department pickup truck. We need to replace a aging vehicle. Champion Chevrolet was the low bid at $33,141. I also compared that to a state contract price, and it's lower, about $800 or $900 lower than that. So I'm asking that fiscal court approve the award of this vehicle, the purchase of this vehicle to Champion Chevrolet in the amount of $33,141.
Judge, I'll move that we approve this bid for the 2024 Chevrolet Colorado crew cab in the amount of $33,100 to Champion Chevrolet.
Second.
is there any discussion on this bid?
The vendor is,
Or award? Magistrate Hounds?
I'm confused by the number. Typically, don't we have to still pay the destination charge?
Well, I'm going by the amount that is shown on the total not to exceed bid price on the
Okay,
front
we don't
page.
have that page. Okay,
Sorry.
sorry, okay. That makes, oh, now I do see that page. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What's the delivery time, just out of curiosity?
I don't know that right now. So
Doesn't matter, just curious.
as soon as we can get it, correct.
Magistrate Hawkins?
We're voting on 33,100, not any of these other numbers, 34,000. There's,
34,141.
okay.
Correct.
On our, unless it's like my minutes where it says
Keep going, keep going.
33,000. Well,
going.
look at this cover page right
going.
here.
You're wrong way, sorry.
Okay.
It's on the.
So it's the 33,141.
That's correct.
It's that one.
That
Okay.
page.
All right. Are there any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor of awarding this to Champion Chevrolet for this truck, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Appreciate it. Belinda Demas will now take us through the professional services agreement with Stantec.
Good afternoon. This is an agreement with Stantec in the amount of $96,862 to begin design work for the Kenwood Road project. Purpose of the road project is to create a new connection between Veterans Memorial Parkway and Kentucky 146 to reduce congestion and increase travel alternatives. In September of last year, Fiscal Court accepted federal SLO funds for the design phase of this project from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. Because the project uses federal SLO funds, 80% of the cost will be reimbursed by the Transportation Cabinet, and 10% will be reimbursed by the City of Crestwood, who is partnering with us on the project. That breaks down to $77,490 will be reimbursed by the Cabinet. $9,686 will be reimbursed by Crestwood, and $9,686 will be paid by Fiscal Court. The cost of the design phase is included in the fiscal year 2025 budget, and we are asking Fiscal Court to allow Judge Vogel to sign the agreement.
Judge, I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this? All right, Magistrate Dye.
Yes, hi, how are you today? I remember voting on this sometime back, and I had a question then, but I didn't bring it up. I figured it would be, has the ground been acquired?
No, we have to complete the design phase before we go into a right-of-way phase, because part of the design phase is creating the right-of-way plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
That answers my question. Thank you.
All right. Magistrate Woosley.
You had 10% Crestwood match?
Right, so it's a 80% federal funding, 20% local match. And the city of Crestwood is splitting the match with us. So they'll end up paying half of that 20% and we'll pay half of the 20%,
Okay,
which is
so
10% overall.
I heard 10% of the total, but it's 10% of our 20%, so
Well,
50%.
It's half of our total.
It is 10% of the
it's
total.
half of the 20.
Gotcha.
Right.
Magistrate Tice.
Now, who will end up paying for the road to be constructed after we get all the design stuff done?
It will follow the same format. All of the funding is programmed with KIPTA in the TIP through construction, which will be in 2027. And it's the same format. 80% of it is federal funds, 20% is matching funds. The city of Crestwood voted by resolution based on the current amount of funding in KIPTA in the TIP to pay half of the required match. So they'll pay half the match and we will pay half of the match for all of the phases.
Okay. And then the road will become city property?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, won't be county property.
And they'll be responsible for maintenance and for snow removal and.
It'll be theirs from there on. We're just doing 10% to get the boat rolling. Okay.
All right, Magistrate Hounds.
Do we know what the anticipated cost of the project is? I think, I tried to find that in the notes, not this thing always throws me for a
Do you
loop.
want each phase?
No, just the total project. Do we know?
Yes. 1 second. It's a little over, it's $3,917,461 is what is currently programmed for.
I'm sorry, 3 million.
917,461.
Okay, thank you.
There was,
All right, if you round that off to 4 million, that's 320 from the SLO funds, correct? And that would leave 80 for Oldham County and Crestwood to split, 40 each, roughly. I'm just talking
So
global.
if you look at all 4 phases, what I have figured out is that this is again for all 4 phases. This is design, right-of-way, utilities, and construction. Fiscal Court's investment would be $391,000. City of Crestwoods would be the same.
Yeah, Judge, you dropped a 0. It's 800. Not, It's 800,000, not 80.
Okay. Sorry about that.
20%.
But we voted on
of 480.
360,000 in the budget for this year.
Okay, and the way that works is, because it's a reimbursement process, We have $365,625 for the complete design phase. What you have in front of you today is just preliminary design. It's not the full plan set. It's not the right-of-way plans. It's just choosing the alternative, public input, those kind of preliminary, choosing the alignment projects. So we will have to come back again for another agreement with Stantec. There's $365,625 in the budget. We will pay we'll pay all of it and then get it reimbursed from the cabinet and from City of Crestwood. But we have to put the full amount in the budget because we have to have that cash available to pay the bills before we get reimbursed.
So what's the total wrap-up cost of this project from start to finish?
$3,917,461 is what we have currently estimated. And that is what is programmed in
Design, right-of-way.
Utilities and construction.
So
Yes,
that's
sir.
why I wrote that off to 4 million.
Yeah, which close enough.
Basically.
Yeah.
Safe bet.
Huh?
It's probably a safe bet.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right, by 2027, that probably is.
Okay.
But that is
So
currently
how
what
long
is
is this, I know this connection's needed. How long is this?
So right now, the funds are programmed with right-of-way next year, utilities in 26, and construction in 27.
I mean, how long is the actual road?
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. The road is, hold on, I can tell you.
2,000 feet. It's not a very long stretch.
No, what I have is, it's 11 feet with a proposed speed limit of 25. Length of the proposed road is approximately 2,760 feet from Veterans Memorial Parkway to Kentucky 146.
About a half a mile. Okay.
Is there any way we can pick up the speed on that to get it done?
It really just depends. Typically, they don't move much faster than one phase a year. It could happen. They will typically if you're moving quicker than anticipated, they will authorize the money faster. But I would say we usually get hung up in right-of-way. I don't know that that'll happen in this case, but it's possible.
All right. Manager Tice.
There was one other thing that as I was reading through this, and I found part of it on page, whatever it is, of this docket of 28 of 34 pages. When Stantec started doing this project was, I believe it said 2018. And at that time, they came back with two alternatives. One would be Kenwood Road, and the other one possibly there by the gun range and et cetera. Now, at that point, they were given it as two options. Now, and knowing what we've are purchasing and where we're going since that time, are we going to be talking about two roads now? Going across the area? You know what I'm talking about.
No, I believe what you're referring to is the City of Crestwood paid Stantec to do a study.
Yes, they did.
In 2016, 17, somewhere in that phase. And I think those were the alternatives that were developed as potential projects. And then we based this project on the study. So we feel fairly confident we know what the route is going to be, just one road. But just the one we're discussing. I don't believe there will be two roads, no.
There could be. That's not to say the City of Crestwood couldn't build the other road. It's two separate projects.
For the costs that we're looking at right now, it's one road,
Agreed.
about a half mile long.
Agreed.
See,
And as Belinda said, it will likely be the alignment that you saw in that study. But this preliminary design will flush that out using the criteria required by the cabinet and the federal government.
So, and I guess the way I want to phrase it is that obviously they had chose that Stantec evaluated that they thought alternative one would be the Kenwood Road area.
Yes.
But knowing that what's happened today, will they do further studies to make sure that's still alternative one?
Yes.
Or has the other road, considering what we're doing, will it be moving up to alternative one? Or will we be looking at
Well, they will
doing
look
two
at different,
roads?
as a element of the federal funding, you have to look at alternatives.
Yes.
So they will consider other options, but in the end, it will only be one. So I guess it's possible that it could change from what was chosen by the study, because they will get public input, they will get public elected official input, stakeholder input. So it could change. But right now, we believe it will be based on the alternative chosen by the study.
Okay.
But there will be some further
But they
looking
will
into.
still be reevaluating
Yes.
it with the understanding that a lot has changed
Yes, right.
in the last couple of
Yes.
years to the
Yes.
study. Thank you. Did I make that clear?
Magistrate Hawkins.
Magistrate Tice asked my question mostly, so will there be another study done because the parameters of the initial study have changed?
It's not a full study, but it will be, how would you phrase it, Jim? They will look at alternatives.
Yeah, again,
Okay.
all the criteria that must be evaluated for the federal funding, the intent is, or not just the intent, the plan will be for this preliminary design phase to follow that structure. So it follows the federal guidelines, and they can select the best alternative based on those guidelines. The previous study was a bit abbreviated. It was a local study, and so it just doesn't meet those guidelines for the federal funding, and that's why it's being reevaluated. And Magistrate Tice, you're right, it's good to reevaluate it now that it's been several years. Like
Things
Belinda
have
said, we think
changed.
we think it should have the same result, but it does need to be reevaluated.
And I think that it was recommended by us at this body to move forward with some kind of planning in that area, or maybe it was not this body. Maybe you started it kind of even before you brought it to us last time. But the point is I know that this body supported it last time you came here for the design costs. And I still am having a hard time seeing where it solves a problem. It doesn't eliminate traffic. It'll kind of move it, disperse it differently. But I feel like it's kind of in my opinion, just a lot of money for not really solving a problem, especially if there's an accident on 71 or 53.
Yeah, well, we can't eliminate the traffic.
Right.
The traffic's there, so what this would aim to do is redistribute it better. So there's less traffic at the 146, 329B intersection, and a better route to school. So it does address the problem.
Okay.
It could be
Can't solve
huge.
it.
Thank you.
It could be huge with the traffic that's coming down 146 from the 17, instead of bottlenecking, like you just said, Veterans Memorial Parkway. If we can have them cut over, get on to 329 and drop down to 71, that's going to free up the Crestwood area where the school is. So it could have a huge benefit for those that are getting off and trying to get around an exit between the 17 and the 14. Could.
Magistrate Dye.
Would this, because it goes between 329 and, what did you say, 146? Actually, yeah, 146.
Yes, 146.
Would it or could it become a state road, connecting two state roads now?
I don't think so.
I don't think that's the intent. It could, but I don't think
that
that's
wasn't the
intent.
answer, though. Could it become a state road?
Anything could, but I don't see that happening.
Okay, all right. Well, if they did, that means they would be responsible for the maintenance and stuff, right? Okay.
Well, one way or another, it's going to be Crestwood's responsible for the maintenance once the thing's done, not us. If that's what you're getting at.
No, I just want to know if the state would take it, because my understanding is that when you connect two numbered roads with a road, it becomes a numbered road.
Can.
Maybe. I don't know. We don't have any other examples like that here. I can think of right
Yeah,
now.
well, actually, the example came up in discussing Ernie Harris Parkway
Okay.
till the Rams came in.
All right, Magistrate Tice.
I think the road across there will be a very valuable in the very near future. We just experienced the state putting a three-way stop there on 146 down in Crestwood. And I don't know if it just happened to be every time I went, but I was through there 3 times in about 3 days, and it was a nightmare with what the traffic had backed up in that Crestwood area. So I think this could be a real benefit, so it's needed.
That could be because of planning and zoning let too much in too quickly. And keep up with the roads.
Well, we have a motion on the floor to go forward with this professional services agreement with Stantec. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Is anyone opposed?
Opposed?
Motion carries 8-1.
Thank you.
Now we're at a community business here. We have our 2024 compensating tax rate public hearing. This is a public hearing, and what we do at this time of the year is set the tax rate for the coming year. Our tax rate has been at 8.7 cents, and under the resolution number 010820.24, we are proposing that we maintain this rate. No rate increase here, just keep the current tax rate at 8.7 cents per $100 of property tax assessment. And that's subject to tax excluding new property and personal property. By keeping this rate, we will generate a little more revenue than if we were to drop the rate. But we have a lot of expenses, and we've kept the rate for several years, and we're not raising the rate, so that's a positive. So this is a public hearing, so if there's anyone who would like to speak in opposition to keeping the current tax rate or in favor of it, I'll allow you to do so. And is there anyone here to speak for or against keeping the current tax rate? Saying no one, I'll close the public comment and go to fiscal court and ask if there's a motion that we adopt at resolution 010820.24, keeping the current property tax rate at 8.7 cents.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Now we're down to committee reports and recommendations here. The first thing we have is a new hire, and that is Zach Nicholson, a 3-year lateral police officer to come in at $33.20 an hour, effective November 2nd. Is there a motion to hire Officer Nicholson?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now, I believe the Finance Committee, Magistrate Hounds, asked that discussion be on the agenda today regarding fiscal court security. Magistrate Hounds.
So, Judge, not to take away from Magistrate Dye's thunder, but at the Public Safety Committee, the first fiscal court meeting in August, it was brought up about some potential changes to the fiscal court building for security enhancements. At that time, we talked with the sheriff about some options that he presented to us as hiring a court security deputy. I guess I'm using the right term, that we would have posted downstairs. Sheriff came to the Finance Committee today with the numbers, and I've passed this out to the magistrates. They would be hired at the rate that he's hiring. I believe he said it would be a 5-year lateral. Is that right, Sheriff? 5-year lateral on the court security pay scale. Right. They will be a certified deputy, certified peace officer. That hourly rate would be $25.64. They would be eligible for cleft money. We'd have the FICA, unemployment, workers' comp, life insurance if they took it, and the dental insurance. This would be a contract employee through the Sheriff's Department. There would be some incidental costs that the sheriff is going to absorb, believed to be approximately $1,800 That was just a rough number. And then there will be some workstation costs that would be absorbed by the fiscal court. We believe that that's going to be something, it's hard to put a number to it. We put $2,000, the sheriff came up with $2,000. Our hope is to be able to go to Kentucky Surplus and pick up a desk and or furniture like that we would need. The county clerk has graciously donated an old broken down chair that she says that we, oh, I'm sorry, it's brand new. I forgot that part. The brand new chairs that she's going to donate towards the cause. But we would like to put this court security deputy in place as soon as it's feasible for the sheriff's department to do. All we're asking for the court today is to preliminarily approve the workstation cost. I think that probably needs to be doubled. We don't really know what it's going to cost yet. The reason I say that is hopefully we can find what we need at surplus. We've talked about buying a TV that we can monitor this person will be able to monitor cameras. So it's kind of like one of these deals where you build the plane, you fly it, you land it, and make the modifications and go on. But the main piece of the puzzle is hiring this court security deputy. The sheriff said today he'll go get a table out of the back and put a chair up, and we'll start tomorrow if he can do it. So we know what our initial cost is, and that's the personnel cost borne by the sheriff. Would not be additional cost to the fiscal court to cover that cost. In other words, the sheriff's not going to come to us and say, "Hey, folks, I need $64,815 to fund this." He's going to fund it out of his current budget.
Are you making a motion?
I guess my question, Judge, is I'm throwing the ball in your court. Do we want to have a discussion about it? You want me to make a motion?
Well, I think we'll make a motion, and then we'll have a discussion, I guess.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we spend up to $4,000 to outfit that area.
Why don't you just make a motion that we spend money to do what we need to do
Okay.
to, no, let's not put a dollar number on it.
Understood.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. A motion that we purchase the necessary equipment to make a workstation in the area between the sheriff's office and the engineer and planning and zoning.
Second.
Now discussion. Magistrate Tice.
And Chris and I our Magistrate Hounds and I have talked a little bit about this. This positions a person in our building on the main floor, right there where most of the traffic comes in off of either the 2nd Street or the 1st Street side. Now, we're not locking down anything in the building, is my understanding. In other words, a person coming in that still wants to has business with the sheriff or planning and zoning or Amy's office, they'll still have, they can walk through the building or go up to the 2nd floor to where we are here now. So is this where we're stopping, or is this to where we may, the first step to locking part of the building down? You know what I'm trying to say? I don't mean lockdown where nobody can get in, but
I think this is step one. This is my opinion. I don't have any true fact. I'm not part of the building securities committee. I'm not sure what it's called. I've just been briefed by members of the committee, and I would say this is a step one. Are there other things that we're talking about doing? We talked about in finance today about potentially adding some additional cameras for some blind spots. Not to speak for the county attorney, but he would like to have a camera showing the hallway. Not to speak for you, but you were talking about a camera system, and the problem we have is that the county clerk has a camera system, the fiscal court judge's office has a camera system, the county clerk has a camera system, but they don't interact. So we're talking about doing some other interaction things to make it more holistic, make it more one piece. This would be step one. What the next steps are, I don't really know. Not to put Director Wilt on the spot, but I don't know that we really have a plan as to what 1, 2, 3, 4 is. One thing I will say, not to get off topic of this, Ms. Schaff and I talked about it in the finance committee, and there's a plan to do the ALICE training, which most of us attended, and have everybody in the building have the ALICE training, which would be another step in a process. But I'll let the county attorney speak about the camera piece.
Well, quite frankly, in a public meeting, I don't really want to talk about what my security concerns are beyond the fact that my office is located in kind of a remote part of the building, easily accessible from the first floor without a whole lot of ability to see what's coming. So at some point, that's something that I would like to get addressed. We did discuss whether or not this is a reaction to what occurred yesterday in Hardin County. And I think this started before that. I think we all know that there was a concerning incident, that maybe there was not the unified building response or countywide response that maybe we would have liked. I know that members of my staff were very concerned with what went on, and so everybody would just like to know that when they're in this building, which, you know, it's a public building, it should be a public building, it's open to the public for people to come in, but we all want to be safe too in our work environment. And so, you know, I'd like to see us kind of integrated some way. I mean, obviously, physically, you can't move my office. So I'd like to have some ability for other people, in particular the sheriff's office, to have some kind of idea as to what is going on out in the hallway here, so that if there is a problem, that you know, we're not left. I mean, we're stranded essentially. I mean, we could be more or less pinned down in that location, and nobody would ever, you know, you guys, Judge Vogel's up there in the front looking out the window, and he has no idea what's going back back in my office. So, you know, I just like, not obviously this is a whole different phase, and I think this is a great first step, but I think there are some other things that can be done in the building to just kind of web us together a little better. So,
I think I think it's fair to discuss in minor detail some of we all live in a society where things have changed. We all realize that we hear on the news that things are happening all the time, and in different places. And there is, you know, some concern. Let's say I'd say it's a minor concern, but it's a concern among our staff that obviously everybody here wants to be safe, and we don't know who may walk into the building at what time or when, and you know, so we've taken a look at what can we do to you know, just, you know, you know, offensive way fortify our building to the extent it's needed to protect our staff in the event something were to happen. Frankly, I'm a reluctant passenger on this because, you know, I'd like to believe, you know, we don't need these kind of things. But I'm, you know, persuaded by circumstances and others that, you know, I'm a step or two behind the times. And we've never had anything happen in the 50 years that I've lived in this town. But times are different than they were 50 years ago. And if, we don't know who's out there and what's motivating people. There's a lot of anger, it seems like, around the country. People are upset about this or that. So we want all our staff to be safe. I think it's fair to say if we move forward with just a security greeting when you come in, I mean, no one's going to be checked in or ask for IDs or anything like that. It's just the same we have at the schools. We have all the resource officers in the schools. We never had them before, but people feel as though we need them now. So, you know, you come in, you see if you have a malevolent intent, you'll notice that there is somebody that you'll have to walk by. This decision, though, does entail locking the front door to the clerk's office. In other words, we'll close off the Jefferson Street side. There is no point in having somebody sitting in the back of the building when it's free access to the front of the building. So we would have to put some kind of markation out there that said if you come from the parking lot at First and Jefferson, please use a door to the Jefferson Street side or the fiscal court parking lot side to enter the building. Whoever comes in will have to be observed. So that's part of the decision to do this, that Amy's front door is going to be locked. You know, there's just no other way around that, I see. So, do we need this? Can we live without it? Probably in a way, but in another way, if something were to happen, we'd all have serious regrets that we didn't take a step when the discussion was in front of us. And I'm not, Barry's, we don't want to discuss what our security is here now, but we do have security. We have a lot of cameras in and around this building, and so we do record what happens. We know who comes and goes and in what parts of the building they travel. But it doesn't, a camera doesn't stop a person who shows up with an ill intent or have the same effect that perhaps a security, a court bailiff would have sitting here. So that's what if we go ahead and build a nice workstation down there, it's going to be, there's space to put it. People walk by, and we expect our security people to say, good morning, welcome, and where can I help you? People do ask now, where do I go for this part of the building or that part of the building? And we have a campus map outside that, with the courthouse being changed, has become a little bit outdated, that needs to be updated when we get to the courthouse, and we're building next door the fiscal court reception center. But still people come in and they don't know exactly where to go, so someone can be there to say, hey, go here, go there, and give you a nice welcome in our building. So, but we're going to lock the front door if we do this. So that's Ben Shaddai.
I think this is something that the time is here. Time is now. We had a discussion in the last public safety meeting that was brought up. The same thing about this, some sort of a building security. It was brought up yesterday at the meeting that some of us attended. I don't want to go too deep into what they were talking about for the reasons that Mr. Baxter brought up. But we do need a gatekeeper here in this building because I think that every office in this building at different levels there can be situations that can become volatile. And I would say that probably Mr. Baxter's office would probably be the top on my list, would be the volatility, but there can be people, they get angry over getting cited by the code enforcement officer. You know, we have no control or level of how to control people's anger, like you said. People have bad intent, so I think this is something we need to do, and the sooner the better.
All right. Any other discussion about this? All right. Motion on the floor. We go ahead and prepare for a workstation on the main floor in the lobby area between the planning and zoning and the sheriff's department. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We crossed off the executive session here today, not quite ready to go with that, but we'll probably hopefully be ready at the next meeting. So we'll have a second public comment now. Is there anybody here who would like to address the court? And see a familiar face coming forward here.
Sorry to do this, but first of all, we need to correct the exact Nicholson's hiring. It's September the 2nd.
Did I say something different?
I think it said November, but it's September the 2nd.
It said, yes, okay.
The next person we're hiring, we should hire in November.
Okay.
And most importantly, today, Angie Gray has had 36 years with fiscal court.
Wow. Really?
And she's been a stellar employee. She's the historian in our building. Whatever we need to know, we ask Angie, she has the answer for us. So publicly, I'd like to thank her for all her service.
Great, thank you.
36
And,
years.
but, you know, we'll certainly appreciate Angie, and I wish, maybe we'll get her here next time or something to recognize her. 36 years is a long time.
I doubt if you get her here to recognize.
Oh, really?
We'd have to bring her handcuffed. You're going to recognize her.
Really? Okay. Well,
We had a little thing in the
okay.
office, and it embarrassed her to no end. But I tell you, she's very special to all of us.
Yeah, I know she is. We thank Angie. She's been a great employee for a long, long time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Anyone else like to address public comment here? All right, just seeing no one, we'll, oops, you.
I just had a question.
We've got to ask you to state your name and
Oh, I'm
address.
sorry. My name is Robin Vessels. I just had a question about the proposed workstation because, cameras aren't going to be much protection if someone comes in here with a weapon. So might there be plans to have a metal detector down there at that workstation?
Well, I can't answer that question directly, but a workstation is a first place to to come in. I think we enter buildings elsewhere that there are people who are, if you go up to the hospital, you go in the emergency room. There's a couple of people there to greet you there. That's a workstation. They're intended to help you, but they're also keeping an eye on. I think I'd be reluctant to have everybody come in this building and go through a metal detector. I personally think it would send the wrong message to our community. I mean, we're not trying to lock ourselves in here, but a court, you go through a metal detector at the courthouse because most of the people who are arriving there are, I don't want to say agitated, but they could be a lot more aggrieved in one way or another. We have many people coming in here just to conduct normal business, get your license plate, get a passport. You don't need a go through a metal detector to get a passport, I hope. So I would say that at least initially, my response would be that let's take it a little slower, but the day may come to that, but I hope it never does, personally.
Yeah, there are even state buildings in Frankfurt that I go to conduct various businesses. And you walk in and you're going through a metal detector, and basically we want to see your ID and who do you need to see. So it's very fortified down there in Frankfurt. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Magistrate Tice.
Can I make one comment on that? I was in Frankfurt 2 weeks ago getting a permanent ID for one of our grandchildren who's 18 years old, and we happened to be in 3 of the state buildings. And all of them had to empty their pockets, and Linda had to have her purse gone through and all of that. We're almost at a point that as long as the people that are asking to do that, we expect it. I wasn't offended in any of the 3 instances. And I'm older, obviously. I just felt like it was part of the times. So if that may be where we're headed, but that could be a step. That's kind of what I was talking about when I was asking questions. That could be a step that we end up doing better safe than sorry. So, anyway.
Judge.
Magistrate Logston.
I would say in 5 years we'll have metal detectors. I mean, government doesn't stop where it is; it keeps growing. So, it's a shame that we have to go this route. I travel out west, and there's courthouses or our state capitals in like Wyoming and places don't even. There's nobody there when you walk in the front door. You walk right to the governor's office. It's awful that we got to start locking everything down. I understand it, but it just takes away some more of our freedoms every time we do this. And we will not stop at just somebody sitting down there. It'll eventually be detectors, and every time you come through here, you got to empty your pockets and do stuff. It's just the way life is right now.
Magistrate Hounds.
Judge, when it's appropriate, I'd like to invite the treasurer up. He's got information about the invoice that we held, if now's a good time.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the court to revisit the payables for $8,450.88. What this is the Division of Local Government Services sent this bill payable to the Kentucky State Treasurer for our portion of indigent services for the year. It's an annual fee. Allison Thompson pulled the invoice. I believe she copied you, Magistrate Jeffries. So I'd like for you to revisit, present to you, to have a look at it.
What type of services?
It's for the indigent. It's,
Indigents, okay.
Yeah. And it's due September 15th, so I'd hate for it to be delayed and incur maybe some type of penalty or fee for not paying on
Is
time.
it a reoccurring bill then?
It's an annual fee. It's
annual,
based
okay.
on, I'll read from the invoice itself. It says adhering to the 2020 decennial census figures, Oldham
Speak in the
County's
microphone.
contribution.
Can you, Matt?
Pardon?
Pat, would you speak in the mic? Pull that microphone toward you a little bit there.
Adhering to the 2020 decennial census figures, Oldham County's contribution is $8,450.88. As we begin the fiscal year, these funds are due payable on or before September 15th. And then it goes into a KRS statute that talks a little bit about how it's calculated. In short, there's a charge based on a per capita of the population. It's an annual fee. It's Oldham County's portion.
I was like Magistrate Hounds. I didn't remember that, on sitting on a finance committee, that was a reoccurring charge. And so that's what kind of caught my eye, and I did see the indigent services, but we do have till the 15th of September. So if we brought it up at our next fiscal court meeting, which is the 3rd of September, we would still meet that deadline, would we not?
You would be able to?
What's the point?
I guess what's...
We're going to pay it. Whether you want to pay it or not, it's a KRS.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
You're going to pay it.
I'll be glad to research for a little bit further.
If we owe it, I'm okay with that. But I just, I just saw it in when I was reviewing the payables, and I didn't recognize that, that payment from say last year, and so I reached out to the chairman of the finance committee and Mr. Magistrate Hounds, kind of had the same. He didn't remember it, being in the budget every year either, or also.
If we're comfortable, can we go ahead and make a motion to pay that invoice then and put it back in the payables?
I think we should. I mean, we're just treading water here otherwise.
Yeah,
How much
I'll
did
make
you
the
say it
motion.
was? How much was it?
$8,345. It's page 7 of 14 on the.
Mine says $8,450.88.
There's two pieces to that. One piece is to the treasurer's for psychological services, and the others is for the indigent care. It's two invoices.
You're going to pay them both.
Yeah,
Let's just amend the earlier approval to include these fees from the Department of Local Government for indigent services.
Yes, sir.
I'll make that motion.
Hold on, we do have one question. Magistrate Woosley just pointed out, under Kentuckiana Psychological Associates LLC, indigent services is $500. 100 plus 400 is $500. So now, the one above that says Kentucky State Treasurer, fiscal year 25 census, fiscal court 845088. So maybe it's coded wrong, or maybe it's not in the right location or whatever, but that's what caught my eye when it said fiscal year 25 census. It doesn't say, at least here, anything about indigent services. The one below that, which says Kentucky Psychological Associates LLC, was for $500 total for indigent services. Right. So maybe that's where maybe it was just coded wrong.
The payables to the Kentucky State Treasurer, is that agreeable?
Right.
The department where it's coded, I don't know where it falls in the budget. So to say it's under fiscal court, that may be the right category. It may also need to go under indigent, but that's a simple thing to fix.
But indigent is the next line down. That's the one I think we were talking about. Was for the Kentucky Psychological Associations for 100 and 400.
Yeah,
And I see that. I see that now, and I can't give you an answer to that other than that we can fix that by doing a journal
Yeah,
entry.
that's a simple change in the category in which it's applied to. The chart of accounts is either going to go to fiscal court or indigent care. That's an easy fix. We know we owe the money. Where it's coded, where it goes on the financial statements, we make those changes on a regular basis.
Maybe you need to make another line item in your budget. This may be the first time we've done this, and it's going to become as you always like, Manager Towns, a reoccurring charge. It should be, for all intents and purposes, this is a standing order issue. We pay it every year, like we just pay our LG&E bill every month.
Agreed.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor in a second to go ahead and pay the state treasurer for the cost of whatever he's billed us there for.
Nice.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I appreciate the attention to detail as well, and
comes
if
Alice,
it's not
he's got
coded
something else.
correctly.
Well, and he just got what I was about to tell you that the psychological services is for. I think that, do you have a court order there of some kind, Pat?
Yeah, it is a court order.
So what that is for, that's going to be when somebody who is indigent claims probably that they are unable to stand trial due to the mental illness that they have, and the county is obligated to provide for those services, those evaluation services. It may even be for a juvenile. I'm not sure. There's probably a case number on that, but I suspect that that's what that part of that is. So you got one bill, but they've put two different line items. It would have been really nice if they sent you two separate bills, but it sounds like they've included two things you owe the state on one bill.
It will be long.
That doesn't have anything to do with the
All right, I
census.
think we just had a motion to pay it, so, you
I think it
know.
was already approved, Judge. I was just trying to clarify.
The census, what they're using is the census data to tell us how much we owe them.
I understand.
It's not a census.
I understand.
Okay,
I understand.
okay.
I just.
All right, I think we've pretty much reached the end of today's discussion here, and so we'll see if anybody has any final comments to share with the court. Magistrate.
Did we vote on that, Judge?
Yeah, we did, actually.
You did.
We did. It slipped through. I guess you were not paying attention there, but
Actually, Magistrate Lawson asked me if we voted on it, and I said, well, you don't like to talk in the mic, I'll just ask you.
we did vote to pay it. Okay. All right. All right, Magistrate Likens, you have anything?
Nothing, Judge. Thank you.
Magistrate Tice?
Nothing from me. Thanks again.
Magistrate Woosley?
Nothing, sir.
Okay, Magistrate Jeffries.
Just one quick thing. I'd just like to congratulate again Jim Urban. He retired as of August 16th. We had a little retirement party for him over here, and it was also his birthday. And so I want to wish him well in his retirement. And also would like to welcome Brian Fisher as the new Director of Planning and Development and Planning Development Services. And Ryan, look forward to working with you and your staff moving forward. Congratulations to you.
All right, Magistrate Hounds.
Just a couple things, Judge. One is somebody already asked, and I'll give everybody a heads up. We will be doing the cancer awareness for the second court meeting in October. I know Magistrate Jeffrey's favorite shirt is that pink shirt that he had to buy or bought a couple years ago. So we will be doing that again. We had the opportunity, the magistrates did, and the public too, to attend the High Point kitchen opening, grand opening. It's really nice. That's a very nice facility. They're going to be able to use food that's donated locally and through Dare to Care, and they're going to be able to produce meals that they can then send out in the community, which will be a huge asset to the community. Parlaying on that, we will be doing the food drive that we've done for the last 2 years. We're going to try to up our game a little bit. A few people have asked if we can get boxes or containers placed earlier than we did last year. And hopefully with the judge's support, I'll be working on that with the directors, and we can get some boxes put out and maybe get some more food than we did last year. We did over 300 pounds last year on about a 2.5-week food drive, which I thought was pretty good. We did also attend the CAECO listening session, or CAECO Speaks, which was interesting. There was 6 counties, I think, represented yesterday, and got some interesting information and listening to the counties that are surrounding us. It's always interesting to listen to other people's issues that they have. And sometimes looking at the other magistrates that were there, we looked at each other and went, yeah, we don't have that problem. So, we got our own problems, but it was nice to see we are moving in a positive direction and keeping the wheels on the bus and keeping them spinning. The other thing is school has started. Some of us have 16-year-old drivers on the street. I continue to work with my son on a regular basis on his driving habits. I think he's getting better. But please be patient. I know that Magistrate Jeffries and Magistrate Logston were surveying traffic data and traffic stuff last week, and it was surprising how smooth it was running. The sky wasn't falling. It was not super smooth, but it was better than anticipated, and I think that's attributed to the people that are driving and people learning new routes and leaving 5 minutes early. And those are things we just have to continue to do as a society. The path that you went to work or school all summer long may have worked, but now that school's in session, you may have to take a detour because of the stop sign or whatever else has happened. And appreciate everybody's level of patience in getting to school and getting to school safely. Thank you.
Now, I would like to add your comments about the High Point Community Kitchen. If you recall, I believe that I think I'm pretty accurate on this. I think we gave $50,000 to help build that kitchen.
They gave us credit for more, Judge. We didn't correct them, but we remember the $50,000 too. Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. No, it's not that we're glad to be able to support something like that with community dollars. It's our privilege to be able to direct resources to help other people, and so it's not that we gave it; the community gave it. So,
correct.
Magistrate Hawkins.
I wanted to make mention that this Saturday there's going to be a mini triathlon running through various parts of the county, mostly 393 as you go toward Goshen area. So that'll be affected between the hours of 7 and noon on Saturday. So I just wanted to give a heads up about that. And that's all I have today, Judge.
Thank you. Magistrate Dye.
Nothing, sir.
All right. Magistrate Logston.
Nothing, sir. When you're at the end of the line, everybody says everything.
All right, well, all right. We talked about indigent services. Are you one of those people that wants to die broke? I don't know. Die broke.
What are you talking about? I'm already on my way.
Before you depart this world.
I can figure out how to spend
Right.
The only person I'm going to die broke here is you.
Jim Urban, all the best to Jim Urban. He's been our planning and zoning director for 18 years, over a, I guess, 27-year period. He was out for 8. He was there for a number of 4 years, left for 8, came back for 14, and we'll miss Jim and thank him very much. And we welcome Ryan Fisher, and I believe he has a new staff member there seated next to him. Anna, right? We'll have welcome. And only advice I give you, Ryan, is don't sit in the last row of the last chair in the last row. I'm gonna get up here a little closer. We can get our hands on you if we need to. So, all right. So, with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?